Right. That flexibility, I think, is something that the digital channel is particularly well suited to. But we also see that there's a mind shift that has to happen on the part of executives to think about this as a continuous process, not a one-time event, right? You're not going to go and solve the problem. Digital is done. Let's move on and let's move off, right? It's a continuous engagement, learning, experiential differentiator for them, right? That's something that you must be seeing as well from executives, right?
We are, a lot of times executives think that it's one and done, and it's not. And then what they find out is, oh, we thought it was one and done, people are happier, but then there's also these other issues that we uncover that we need to fix. Oh, there's these new platforms that our customers are on that we've never tried out, and we need to go and adapt and figure that out. Oh, the reach organically on Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn wasn't as good as we were used to. So how do we adapt to that, right? Things are constantly changing. So it's sadly never one and done. I wish it was, but it isn't.
Well, if it were, you might have shorter engagements with your customers. So this way you have long-term relationships, right? So that's great. Yeah.
That's right.
I think the other part about this, the nature of the channel being flexible and adaptable, it also lends itself to the companies and what's going on economically as well, because there's so much volatility and the companies themselves change. There's lots of mergers and acquisitions, their product portfolios are changing, the competitive landscape is changing. So the nature of the digital channel allows them to really use that to be flexible in the way that they deliver messages and the way that they uncover value, and by representing their product portfolios. When things are analog, when there's a paper-based process, it's much harder, it's more expensive, and it takes longer to adapt and be flexible.
It is, but I think with a lot of automation and tools that are going to come out in the future, I think it's going to make it so much easier to be flexible and adapt to the market. It's just going to take time. But even then, companies got to adapt and use that technology and change from some of the archaic ways that we're seeing them operate currently. Yeah,
particularly the ones who have gone through what we call digitization as opposed to digital transformation, right? If all you've done is digitize the analog process, then it's going to be much harder to change those. But if you've really looked at the digital channel as a canvas that you can paint completely new landscapes on, then what happens is they create new processes that become inherently more flexible. So we've seen that exact syndrome that you just described, where people are finding it hard to make those digital channels more flexible if it's purely just a digital representation of what they used to do, right?
That's right. You actually have to go through a whole transformation and make it part of your DNA for it to work well.